Exercise alkane and alkene, exercise 2. Question number 12. 5 organic compounds have the following structures as you can see. And the question is, which compound is butane? I will just zoom out. So as we need the whole. So which compound is butane? A is butane. That's right. Two compounds are the structural isomers of each other. Which two compounds are isomers of each other? B and C. So B and C are isomers of each other. Which compound can be made by reacting alkene with bromine? When alkene react with bromine, that compound will be formed. Which one? Either it will be D or E, but we cannot say E. Why we cannot say E? D is the right answer, but why not E? Because if alkene react with bromine, so the carbon which are next to each other, the neighbor both should have bromine. But here what happened? First carbon and the third carbon have bromine. That's why this cannot be formed by reaction of alkene with bromine. Which compound is a saturated hydrocarbon? Saturated. Yeah, I will explain this part. Look, when alkene react with bromine, when alkene react with the bromine, the two bromine atoms added to the neighbors. Like example, how this one will be formed? There will be carbon-carbon double bond, two hydrogen, one hydrogen up, one hydrogen down. And reacted with bromine, which is Br2. So one bromine added to first carbon, second one. So as a result, it will form 1,2-dibromoethane. But this cannot be formed. Like example, if we were having a propene. So if a propene reacted with bromine Br2. So one bromine added to first carbon, the second with the second carbon. So the product which should form when this reaction happen or occur, bromine added to the first two carbons. So bromine added to first two, but here it's written first and third. That's why we did not write E. No, it cannot be, it's always the two carbon which are neighbor of each other, which are having a double bond, that will always have a bromine added to them. It, in this case, we were having a double bond here, so that's why the two carbon added to this one. The two bromine added to this one. So bromine always added to two, like example, if I say, if this reacted with bromine, so what will the structure? The double bond will break, bromine added to the neighbors. Same thing if bromine added to this one. So double bond will break, one bromine here and one bromine here. Always the bromine added to the neighbor, which are having a double bond. It cannot be like with the one with the first and one with the last and there's carbon in between them. That is not the way a product forms when a bromine reacts with alkene. Which compound can be made that we did? Which compound is a saturated? Which is a saturated hydrocarbon?
A.
A is a saturated hydrocarbon. That's right. Which compound has an empirical formula of C2H5? Like the simplest ratio between carbon and hydrogen is 2:5. Yeah, A is right. Why? Because A molecular formula is C4 and like 4 carbon atoms are there and this is H10. So when we take a simplest ratio between 4 and 10, it will be 2 and 5. So C2H5. Name two products made by a complete
Carbon
combustion.
dioxide and water.
Carbon dioxide and water. So if they say name, don't write a formula. You have to name, like you have to write carbon dioxide plus, no need for plus here because we are not writing an equation, then water and water. Petroleum can be separated into useful substance using the operators that is the fractionating column. You can see different fractions are there. Refinery gas, gasoline, naphtha, X is there. then diesel oil, fuel oil, and lubricating fractions or bitumen. Name the fraction which is most viscous or thick. Which is more viscous? Good. Lubricating fraction or bitumen?
Bitumen.
Yeah. Because as we go down, like number of carbon increase and become more viscous or thick. The next is, yeah, name the fraction which is has a smallest molecule, like
Refinery gas.
refinery gas, because the number of the carbon as we go down, there are more carbon here, so this will have few carbon atoms, this will have more carbon atom. Name the fraction which has a weakest attractive force between the molecule.
Also refinery gas.
Good. Refinery gas or a low boiling point, because few carbon atoms. The fraction X, the mentioned fraction X is used as a jet fuel. Name the X.
Kerosene or paraffin.
Kerosene.
Kerosene or paraffin oil. A kerosene or a paraffin oil is used for a jet fuel. Then what happened to at point Y on the diagram? What happened to
Heating
Vaporizes.
of petroleum.
heating of petroleum, vaporizing, heated? Similar question is there, question 13. The petroleum is a useful natural resource. Again, see refinery gas, gasoline, A is missing, kerosene fraction. And better you learn in order. So different fractions are there. What is the name of a separation
Fractional
process?
distillation.
So we call that as a fractional distillation.
A is naphtha and B is bitumen.
The name the fraction lever A you just mentioned. A is what? Naphtha.
Naphtha and
And
B is bitumen.
B is bitumen. Lubricating fraction. The least one, okay, that's fine if you're writing it. But you can write here as a bitumen. The appropriate, because in the previous, if you check the difference between them, like because here how many fractions they show to us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. In this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually, they combine this lubricating fraction and bitumen, they combine here. In the next one, they separate there further. So if lubricating fraction is written here, lubricating oil fraction is written here, so this must be bitumen. So that's why for B, bitumen is the answer. If it was collective, then lubricating fraction and bitumen. Refinery gas is a mixture of hydrocarbon. One refinery gas is butane, C4H10. Suggest a name of other two refinery gases. What are
Decane and octane.
refinery gases?
Okay, refinery.
Usually refinery, yeah, ethane, because
They will have less than 5 carbons.
yeah, four less than 4 or less than 4 carbon, like less than 5
So,
carbon.
Mr. Propane and ethane.
Yes.
Yeah, you can say methane or ethane. You can say but any number less than 4.
Yes.
Yeah, methane or ethane. You can say any of both of them. Even propane is also correct. But don't say a high carbon number, as it won't be correct, as alkanes, the first 4 member are gases, then the others are liquid. So you don't, if you mention anything like pentane, hexane, that is wrong. Butane is already written here. So butane will not score a mark. Butane, even it is a refinery gas, but the thing is it will not score a mark as it is already there in the answer, in the question. Chemical equation for combustion, give. Why others are wrong? Like example, when we talk about alkane, the first member is methane, the second member is ethane, the third member is propane, fourth member is butane, and the fifth member is pentane. The first 4 members are gases. So suggest the name of other gases. So first 4 member are gas. Then pentane is not a gas, it is a liquid. That's why if you write pentane, it is wrong. Then this is the complete combustion equation. Then name a toxic gas produced by
carbon
incomplete
monoxide.
carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide is a toxic gas. If they say name, write a name. If they ask for formula, write a formula. These things, whenever you're answering a question, these things you should keep in mind. Whenever a question is write the name, then don't write a formula in that case. Then in part D, gasoline and kerosene are both fuels. They have different properties. Viscosity of a fuel, like here kerosene and gasoline.
Kerosene is more viscous than
Kerosene is more viscous because as we go down
And
in this fractionating
gasoline
column,
is more flammable than kerosene.
so when we talk about viscosity, kerosene is more viscous, and flammability means like which can burn easily. The one which is having low
Gasoline.
carbon number can burn easily. So this gasoline can burn easily as compared to kerosene. So viscosity, kerosene is more. But flammability, gasoline or a petrol is more. Which produce more energy when it burned completely?
Kerosene.
Kerosene.
Kerosene,
It has
because
more carbon chains.
more carbon atoms.
A bigger carbon chain.
So what difference in the molecule of a gasoline and kerosene cause these differences in the
Kerosene
properties?
has greater molecular size.
Or you can say they have different number of the carbon atoms.
Yes.
Yeah, fewer as the number of the carbon atom decide whether they will be easy to burn, difficult to burn, viscosity. Molecular mass is different, but molecular mass is not deciding the chemical property. Like the properties are here, the function is due to the carbon chain. Then
So these are physical properties.
combustion I talk about. Like
Okay.
what difference in the molecule of gas cause these differences in the properties? Flammability is a chemical property, viscosity is a physical property. So one is chemical, one is the physical. The main reason is not their masses, the main reason is the carbon chain. Hydrogen fuel cell can be used to power the vehicle. Write a word equation. So what is a word equation?
Hydrogen plus oxygen gives what?
Hydrogen plus oxygen give water. So that's right. So this was exercise 2 related to the alkanes and alkenes.